Hi, I'm Chad with Move For Guitar. This lesson is from our series Guitar Chords for Beginners. In a previous lesson, I showed you how to play an open A7 chord. In this lesson, I'm going to show you another version of the open A7 chord. Here's an open A7 chord. And in a previous lesson, I showed how to play this voicing, or it's just another version of the A7 chord. This is going to be pretty much the same thing, except you're adding in one extra note that you have to fret, which is on the first string, 3rd fret. So it is a more difficult voicing to play, so I recommend learning the other A7 first. But if you have your basic beginner chords down, and the ones I recommend, which there's a links in the description of all the chords I recommend to learn first, then this chord shouldn't be too hard for you to learn if you just work on it over and over again. And the two chords, the two versions or voicings of the A7 chord, the one I showed in the other lesson and this one, are interchangeable. It's just that instead of having the open string on the first string, you're fretting that G note on the high G note on the 3rd fret, so it just adds a little different sound. So instead of sounding like this, which was the first A7 that I showed, it sounds like this. So it just depends on the playing situation for which one sounds best, which chords are around it, and what voicing is going to sound best in that situation. So it's good to learn both voicings because each one will come in handy. So the fingering for this chord is your first finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret, your second finger on the 2nd string, 2nd fret, and your 3rd finger on the 1st string, 3rd fret. And then you mute out the 6th string with your thumb if you can reach it, otherwise you just have to avoid it when you're strumming, and all the other strings are open. So the 5th string's open and the 3rd string's open. And if you can't reach up with your thumb to mute out that 6th string, it doesn't really matter if you hit that 6th string a little bit, because that note is in the chord. It's just if you hit it too much, it's going to become really muddy. So it's best to try and avoid as much as possible. And this chord, you just really have to be on the tips of your fingers and arch your joint here and make sure that you're not muting out any of the strings. And that's going to be the most difficult part about this, especially with your 1st and 2nd finger. It's going to be really hard not to mute out this 3rd string and even the 5th string. So you're just going to have to really work to be on the tips of your fingers and avoid muting out any of the other strings. So that's an open A7 chord.